Yep. And we are live, man. Shout out to everybody tuned in to this debate. Hope y'all ready for a good one. How you feeling, Cam?
Pretty good.
Yeah, man. We on this way for people to go on and pull in. You know, I feel like we can start in like 2 or 3 minutes, man. In like 2 or 3 minutes, we can get it going.
Just let a couple people in, right?
Yeah, and you want me to go first or last? I'm giving the first. I'm giving open, or you want to go second?
It's
open?
up to you. It's up to you, man.
It's up to me. You sure?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, bet.
All right, 1 second.
I'm going first then. I'm going first.
All right, let's see. I'm just setting up on my end. Let's see.
It's going down. Hopefully my kids stay in bed. I'm going to close this door. Close the door. And get it going. You know, make sure you're going on and send that like. Send that like, comment, share, all that. Subscribe. Yeah, this debate is about whether the death of Bryant is justified or not.
Rakaya. Oh, 1 second. I'm just pulling up your YouTube. Okay.
I'm about to get ready to get it going. I don't know why. It's about to be real fun, man. Shout out to everybody tuned in. We know right now in our country, you feel me? It's a whole bunch of incivility, a bunch of polarizing perspectives on a lot of same issues. This debate is going to be had because there are a lot of opposing perspectives on this particular issue. So the reason why I'm having this debate is not to try to convince Cam Higbee of anything. This debate is for people that like to engage in dialogue about police brutality or about human relations. And when you find yourself in the debate, if you like an argument that I give or argument that Cam give, feel free to copy and paste that argument and deploy when you find yourself in a conversation. Yeah, let me know when you're ready. I got my timer. It start with 3-minute opening.
Yep, yeah, I'm ready.
3-minute opening. Let me get my timer started. Get my last squib of water, and it's about to go down. All right, ready?
Yep.
Start the timer up right now. I'm gonna win this debate for 3 reasons, all having to do with conservative contradictions. The first reason why I'm gonna win this debate is for the argument about Kyle Rittenhouse. For Cam to win this, he has to win that a kitchen knife and potential death is a greater threat than an assault rifle in the death of already 2 people. We're going to see there's a lot of inconsistencies when I talk about conservative contradictions and how you see Cam makes his arguments. Because when you go to Cam page, you're going to see he's a Kyle Rittenhouse stand fan. You feel me? So it's a double bind, obviously, with the Kyle Rittenhouse. Either A, both Kyle Rittenhouse and Miss Bryant should be dead, or B, both of them should be allowed to be able to see their day in court. My second argument is the stand your ground law. Another way we're going to be able to see the inconsistencies and the conservative contradictions. You feel me? I'm going to ask Cam Higbee. Cam, please be ready to answer this question. Don't answer it right now, but be ready to answer this question. Me, T. Nathan, and I Speak show up to your house and you feel like we ready to do you ill will. You call the police because you feel like we about to do some bodily harm to you. The police shows up and they see you with a kitchen knife lunging at me and the police shoot you at your residence. Is that shooting and you die? Is that justified? I think you're going to say no. That's going to prove I win this debate. My third and final argument that's going to be the greatest exposure to conservative contradictions. If you go to Cam's page, you're also going to see that he has a lot of hashtag all lives matter. My third argument is exactly that. All lives matter. I know Cam is going to be trying to be slick and be like, well, consciously, you say Black Lives Matter. He say the black person. No. All lives matter mean that our tax dollars should be always already given. He has to win that she had to die. This means that the law enforcement couldn't shoot her in the left leg, right arm, left arm, couldn't use rubber bullets, couldn't use mace, couldn't use a taser, had to shoot and kill her. That's my third argument. All lives matter. And then in the big picture, this is a grown-ass man trying to justify the death of a child. Now, usually I'm called the one that's a race baiter. They say consciously I'm the race baiter. But Mr. Higbee here is so invested in building him a Twitch following that he keeps on trying to sensationalize Black death and using my Black presence in order to try to get him some Twitch following. I think that's going to be the independent reason of why he loses this debate alone, is because at the end of the day, that's exactly what he's doing. You can't say all lives matter and that Kyle Rittenhouse deserves to be seen as a hero and then say that this Black child deserves to die. You know what I'm saying? So it's three simple arguments. He has to answer those three arguments. I don't want to see you trying to manipulate my words. I don't want to hear you trying to go back and restructure what I said. It's three simple arguments. First argument, Kyle Rittenhouse argument. Please have something to say to that. My second argument is the stand your ground argument. Third argument, all lives matter.
Start your timer. All right. So my opening statement is, we agreed to a debate about Ma'Khia Bryant, correct? So we're going to be talking about Ma'Khia Bryant. Kyle Rittenhouse is irrelevant. That's a straw man. You're building a straw man up and attacking me with it, you're attacking the straw man, not my argument. I don't have any videos up about Kyle Rittenhouse. You specifically said that I did, which I don't. I have also never, ever, not even a single time on any account, ever used the hashtag all lives matter, even though you claimed that I did. I would love to see you pull up a single video where I did such a thing. The next thing, and I'm not even really going to have an opening statement here. You brought up the shoot the officer or shoot the assailant in the leg, right? We didn't watch the body cam footage. We should have. We can do this after opening statements. We can watch the body camera footage, I guess, because we did agree to do that. Okay, so you said shoot to kill or wound. According to the Office of Justice Programs, officers are not supposed to shoot to wound. Officers are not supposed to shoot to wound, because if you shoot to wound, you're shooting for arms and legs. They conducted a study where out of like 3,000 police shootings, where officers claimed that they were, or not, it wasn't 3,000 shootings. I can't remember how many shootings it was. I'll pull up the study in a second and I'll send you a link. Okay, 1 second. My stream's muted apparently. Anyway, I'll figure it out later. Anyway, so where was I? Shooting to wound. You don't shoot to wound because arms and legs are the most, they're the quickest parts of your body. If you shoot at those areas, you're more likely to miss. Your bullet's more likely to hit other people. Okay. Not only that, officers who have shot to wound or claim that they shot to wound ended up hitting in the neck, in the neck area or the head, because they shot for like the shoulder or the arm. Very, very close, fastest moving. Tasers, not effective. He was around 10 feet away from Ma'Khia. The effective range of a taser is 10 feet. Not only that, studies show that tasers are ineffective 40% of the time. The LA Police Department actually reported that between 2014 and 2018, tasers were ineffective 56 or anywhere from 53 to 64% of the time to subdue an assailant. But I really think that we should watch this body camera footage before we really get into it, because it's probably the most important thing. But this debate, let me be clear. Are you timing me?
Yep.
Okay, let me be clear. This debate is about whether or not this specific incident was justified, if the officers' actions were justified, not whether Kyle Rittenhouse was justified, not whether the officers in the Kyle Rittenhouse situation was justified, because that was a completely different incident with completely different officers. We are talking about this specific incident. We are not talking about Dante Wright. We're not talking about Lieutenant Nazario. We are talking about Ma'Khia Bryant. That's what this discussion is about. That's what we agreed to. That's what we're going to talk about. And also, you brought up the Kyle Rittenhouse and the All Lives Matter thing. That's an attempt to taint the well. That's a logical fallacy. You're attempting to portray me as a bad person in order to invalidate the rest of my arguments. It doesn't work. It's a logical fallacy.
That's time. And you said we got 2 minutes for the rebuttal.
Yep, go ahead.
Or 2 minutes for rebuttal.
Go ahead.
Started my timer. So when you say straw man when you say straw man fallacy, I find that funny because straw man can only be referred to if I'm referring to your argument. I spoke first. I'm the affirmative in this debate. So you saying no link, it show you already the conservative contradictions. I literally said the consistencies of the law. So in this instance, that's a proper logic that you're giving to Rakaya Bryant. Let's get the logic. You said that because she had a knife, she's supposed to die. You know what I'm saying? And then you said that because I'm talking about Kyle Rittenhouse and strong. And listen, don't cut me off. I ain't cut you off, not all. I need you to literally be an adult now. Be an adult. Be an adult. I know right now you're an adult that's trying to justify that a child should have been murdered by the police. But let's get into these arguments. You said that tasers are non-effective. You feel me? You gave me the study. I find that funny because this officer was able to launch a firearm within 20 seconds on the scene. So if our tax dollars are going towards people being able to go make oaths and go to get trained, where is it in terms of all lives matter, in terms of humanity, the preservation of life? So when we say Black Lives Matter, this means that both of these bodies should have went home. But because we see that the police officers literally played judge, jury, and duty, no due process of law, that's already one reason why Raquel should be alive today. There is no due process of law. You feel me? So if you say the law matters, then the law obviously should have mattered in her being able to stand her ground in her home. And your last thing, in this next rebuttal you give, I'm literally giving you the scenario, Cam. Me, T. Nathan, and I speak show up to your house. Your house. You call the police. The police show up, but you having a kitchen knife and they shoot you. You're saying that is justifiable and we don't want to hear nothing about you being able to stand your ground. The question that y'all have to ask yourselves is, what ground do Black people have to stand on? Because according to Cam Higby, you feel me, in this debate, she don't have no ground to stand on, even if she's at her place of residence. Now let's get into this idea that what do you say? Is it?
All right, 1 second. We need before I rebut to what you just said, I've the most important parts written down. We need to watch the body camera footage, so I'm going to pull it up in just a second. 1 second. Just get it ready.
My man said logical fallacy. You ain't made no argument yet.
Yep, I'm not rebutting that yet. We're going to watch the body camera footage. All right. So let's see, where is it? All right, so it's right here. Can you see my screen?
Not yet. Not yet.
Right now, can you see it?
Yeah.
All right.
You see now.
You can see the video.
Before you play this, for all of the people that don't want to see relive trauma or trauma porn, right now he about to replay the video. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? He feel like he had to play the video
because it's evidence. If we're going to talk about whether a situation was justified or not, we need to see the evidence. This is firsthand evidence.
Everybody has already seen this video. It was good.
We'll see. Okay, we're gonna play the video. Can you hear it?
Nuh-uh.
You can't hear it. You really can't hear it?
Nuh-uh. We can't hear nothing.
Okay, then I guess we're just gonna have to watch it without the audio. He's accepting the 911 call right now. They're talking about a knife. They're being attacked. So we're just going to skip to when he starts driving. All right, here he starts driving.
Trigger warning. For everybody that don't want to see this right now, I would, you know what I'm saying? I understand. Definitely, you can get off the screen. I definitely understand.
Yep, it's very sensitive. I know.
Can you put the captions on?
Oh, that's actually a really good idea. Okay, now it's not letting me pause. What the fuck? Okay, let me just come back here, and we're gonna put it in slow motion. Let me turn the closed captioning on. All right, you can see it. Still there?
Yeah.
Yep, we're gonna put it in slow motion. All right, so let's slow it down to 0.5. This girl in pink has a chihuahua. That's Micaiah Bryant right there. She has a knife. She pushes this girl to the ground.
At her place of residence where she called the police.
Micaiah Bryant's father kicks this girl on the ground while she's there.
Right.
Did you see just there at the frame? Just so we can all see it, I'll pause right on the frame. Did everybody just see that knife?
Yep, we see the knife. Everybody's seen the knife.
Okay. So, and then I'm going to pause on the exact frame that the first shot was fired.
Shot 4 shots.
That's the first shot. Or here, let me just, that was a little late. Oh, just 1 second. Yeah, sorry. It's just a little bit difficult.
And you saying right now, no taser could be pulled?
I'll talk about it after this. Okay. All right. That's the exact moment the first audio is heard from the gunshot. This girl in the pink is pinned up against the car. Micaiah has her arm raised with a knife in hand, about to stab this girl. Okay. Now we can, I guess, this is where Micaiah gets shot. We can just speed it up from here so we can make out what everybody's saying and all that.
And her back is
I guess they're not going to be able to anyway. But
her back is turned, and the police officer is within 20 feet that he showed a study of and saying that they're ineffective unless tasers are used within 20 feet.
No, I said 10 feet.
10 feet. He within 10 feet.
Yeah, that officer's probably about 10 feet away. And not only that, in general.
And I remember the study that he read said that tasers are ineffective to 20 feet. That's what I got written down.
I said 10. You can go back and rewind. Anybody who's watching, I said 10.
So you are acknowledging that he was within.
No, I said he was about 10 feet away, which is where the tasers start being more ineffective. Not only that, tasers are ineffective on coats, which she was wearing a coat, on belts, and on jeans. The barbs don't pierce those types of clothes as well. And tasers, studies show, the study from, let's see, the American Public Media shows that tasers are ineffective in subduing an assailant 40% of the time.
Go and start your speech, man. Go and start your speech.
Put me on time.
Put you on the time. Got the 2-minute time. Zane, go get in the bed, son. Go get in the bed. No, go get in the bed. Go get in the bed. Hold on, 1 minute, Cam. Go get in the bed, son.
Yep, go ahead. No problem.
Yeah, you got some business to handle. Go get in the bed. All right, I got the timer started. Oh, actually, I'll start when you start talking. That's when I started.
Okay. Wait, what?
I will start the timer when you start talking.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so I already covered the taser thing. You said that Micaiah called 911 because she was in danger and under attack. What makes you think that?
What makes you think
what makes you think that Micaiah called 911 because she was under attack? What leads you to believe?
She called 911 because we know that they're studying.
Any evidence of that at all?
Yeah, the 911 call you showed.
How do you know that's Micaiah? Was her picture there? How do you know that's Micaiah?
Because we know all reports say that she called.
No, they didn't. Not a single one. Columbus Police Chief Michael Woods specifically said that they haven't identified the person that called 911 initially. How long do you think it was when that police officer started driving till he got to the scene?
I don't know.
It was 28 seconds. They called and they said there was an armed assailant with a knife attacking them. He got there in 28 seconds. Who do you think the armed assailant was all along? It was Micaiah. Okay. Now, even if it wasn't Micaiah, if we had objective proof that it wasn't Micaiah, don't you think that it's reasonable for the officer to believe that she is the intruder, considering she just attacked one girl with a knife, pushed her to the ground as her father curb stomped the other girl, and then she pinned another girl who had no deadly weapon in her hand except a chihuahua and pinned her up against a car and attempted to murder her. Okay. Next. What else did you say? Stand your ground. This is not fit Ohio stand your ground law at all. First of all, she wasn't on her property. She was on the sidewalk. Second of all, you can only, let's see, what I have the criteria for Ohio stand your ground law. 1 second. I'm just looking for it. Okay, Ohio stand your ground law. There it is. Okay, so in order for you to fall within Ohio stand your ground law, you need the person you are attacking, that you're defending yourself from, needs to be the aggressor. The person needs to believe that they are in imminent danger of death or grave bodily harm. Do you think that the person holding a chihuahua on the sidewalk attempting to speak to the police was posing grave bodily harm to Micaiah? Do you think that?
Yeah.
No, she had a chihuahua in her hand. No,
that's why she called the police.
It was a yes or no question. She didn't call the police. That's not confirmed. You're making it up.
That is your time. That is your time. That is your time.
Micaiah was the aggressor the entire time.
So now we get this 8 minutes of free time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey! Before I start my timer, have that same energy when I'm asking you questions. So when I start this time and I start asking you questions, don't start going off the rails.
As long as they're yes or no questions. As long as
you can, I'm letting you know. I ain't gonna ask you all yes or no questions. I'm just letting you know. I'm gonna start this timer though.
Are they going to be? Are you saying they're going to be all yes or no, or they're not going to be all yes or no?
They're not gonna be all yes or no questions.
Okay, so I'm gonna have
this is how we're making it clear though. I'm gonna give you the same respect when you're in your 8 minutes. When I cut you off, that's my time. I'm asking my next question.
Yep, of course. Okay.
The first question: does the law matter in this debate? Does the law matter in this debate, Cam?
It depends. Do you think that it was justified? Are you saying that it was justified under law or morally or both? Do you want justice under law?
Simple question is: does the law, the understanding of the law, matter in this debate? That's all I'm asking.
Of course
it does. We agree. The law matters in this debate.
Yep.
So when it comes to equal protection under law, how come we can use the law to justify Kyle Rittenhouse being alive, but use the law to justify Miss Bryant being dead?
Is that a question?
That is the question.
Okay. First of all, again, Kyle Rittenhouse is irrelevant to this conversation. This is about a single incident. And not only that, Kyle Rittenhouse.
I'm going to cut you off.
A different state.
I'm going to cut you off respectfully and now run this back because I don't think you understand how cross-ex works. First question I asked you, does the law matter in this debate? You said yes. Then I asked you about equal protection under law. And now you're saying that what happened in the legal terms in that instance doesn't matter.
Are you aware that Kyle Rittenhouse was in a different state?
That's understandable. It's equal protection under law. Is that a federal law or no?
These laws would be pertinent to state laws. Was that a question you're asking?
My question
Wisconsin
is
versus Ohio.
Protection under law. It's equal protection under law. Is it a federal law? Is Ohio under the jurisdiction of federal law?
It depends on what the crime is.
Now it depends on what the law is. So let me ask you another question. Why don't you see the similarities in a knife being held and potential death being more violent than a assault rifle and people being dead?
These are not the same situations. When the police encountered Kyle Rittenhouse, he was not aiming the weapon at anyone. He had been chased down and he shot people that were attacking him. In this situation, we're not talking about KyleRittenhouse. This is a completely separate incident.
He shot people that were attacking him. Does the 16-year-old black child in this instance, does she get the ability to defend herself? Yes or no?
If she's being attacked, but she was the aggressor.
So asking you the question again. Because I think that how you answer this question is going to me. I already give the people who won and who lost this debate. Me, T. Nathan, and I Speak 1906 show up to your house, Cam Higby, and you think that we trying to do you ill will. You call the police like these black people trying to kill me. The police shows up. You have a kitchen knife and you trying to stab me. They shoot and kill you. Is the shooting and the killing of you justified? Yes or no?
If you were not actively attacking me and I was actively attacking you, I was the aggressor, and the police showed up in response to a call that somebody said that they were being attacked with a knife. They arrived and saw somebody attacking another person with a knife. Yes, under Columbus Police Code, they have the right to shoot you. Absolutely.
So now let's get to this Ohio State stand your ground law. You said that the Ohio State stand your ground law only is present if you're on your property, and this doesn't count because she was on the sidewalk. Is that what you said?
She was on the sidewalk, but that's not the main part. She was the aggressor. You can't be the aggressor if you're falling under Ohio State law.
So let me ask you this question: how was she on the sidewalk when you made a point to talk about how Rakai had her pinned on the car?
It's Micaiah.
I mean,
The car was partially on the sidewalk.
I got a little cousin named Rakaya, and when I think of her, I see her because they're the same age. My bad. I keep on saying that. Shout out to me. I'm gonna say Miss Bryant. So how is Miss Bryant on public property, the sidewalk, but you pointed out that she had another woman with a car?
I don't care if she was on her own property or not. The fact
hold on. I knew you was gonna do this too. I asked the first question: does the law matter in this debate? You said sure. And then you read to me the Ohio Stand Your Ground law. And you said that it doesn't account in this process because she was on the sidewalk.
I said because she was on the sidewalk, she was the aggressor and her life was not in imminent danger. You have to fall under all three of those criteria in order to be covered by Ohio Stand Your Ground law.
So why did you just say that you're not concerned if she was on the sidewalk or not?
Because it doesn't matter, because the other two parts of the criteria she already doesn't fall under. She was the aggressor. Her life was not in imminent danger. Therefore, just those two things alone mean that she can't possibly be protected by Ohio Stand Your Ground law. Do you understand that? You have to be under all three of these criteria.
So in asking this question, does the law matter? Does Micaiah deserve due process?
They can try to charge the officer with due process.
Did Micaiah deserve due process?
From what I'm familiar with, you get due process when you're being arrested, not when you're actively attempting to murder somebody.
So now we know for a fact you can say that you understand Miss Bryant's intent was to stab the killer.
Miss Bryant's she was attempting to murder somebody. That's my whole thing.
If she is not alive today to say what her intent was doing, how do you know what her intent was?
Because she was over the other girl with a knife raised over her head.
So hold on. So I found this funny. You started off with asking me, how do I know that Micaiah actually made the call? But you can dictate her note. You can say that she was purposely her motive, but I can't say that that Micaiah actually called for help.
Yes, because I can see Micaiah standing over that girl with a knife about to plunge it into her chest. You cannot see Micaiah on the phone. You can hear a voice, but you have no idea what Micaiah's voice sounds like.
Was Micaiah at her residence?
Yes, and there was a lot of people at that residence. It could have been anyone. There was 2 911 calls. You realize that, right?
Can you answer this yes or no question? Can you answer this yes or no question?
Yep.
Me, 1906, and T. Nathan show up to your house, and you think that we trying to do something bad to you, and you call the police for help.
Are you actively aggressing me? Are you threatening me with a knife?
You call the police. You think that we trying to do something to you?
Yeah, if you're not doing something
to me, when I ask you the question, does the law matter? And then I talk about stand your ground law, and you say that it matters.
It does absolutely matter.
So what ground does she have to stand on? If you acknowledge that she's in her residence, what ground does she have to stand on?
It doesn't. What do you mean? What ground does she have to stand on? I'm confused at what you're asking.
I'm asking that if she's at her place of residence and the law says that we have the ability to defend ourselves, I'm asking you.
It doesn't. It says you have the right to defend yourself.
So why? So Kyle Rittenhouse justified shooting. This I think I'm cool on my questions. I'm gonna use this last minute just to make sure it's clear, right? To the people in the comment section, keep on talking about straw man argumentation. This only applies when the opponent is responding to you. I spoke first. I'm making arguments. You feel me? And if he's negating my arguments, there's no way I can straw man him. If you say equal protection under law, and we all as American citizens, as naturalized American citizens, if you born in America, this means that you should have protection under law. You feel me? Equal protection, the same law that you try to use to justify Kyle Rittenhouse being a sung-on hero is the same law that you say should justify Makia being killed. This is an inconsistency. I told you I'm gonna win this debate on conservative contradictions. You're going to say there were separate states. These separate states, all of them had a jurisdiction of equal protection under law. You try to use the law and permute it and say that, hey, this person right here is justified to defend themselves with an AR-15, and this person right here is not because they could potentially dead. In the big picture, this is a grown human being saying that a child should be murdered by a police officer because of him dictating what her motive was.
All right, my turn. So,
hold on, stop the time.
The law. Oh yeah, okay. Go ahead and start the
time. All right, ready?
Do you believe that it's ever justified to shoot a 16-year-old?
Do I believe that it's ever justified to shoot a 16-year-old?
Yes or no question, no stalling. You seem to be using this as an appeal to emotion. No?
Let's get it.
You don't think it's ever justified for a police officer to shoot a 16-year-old?
No. Kyle Rittenhouse ain't dead.
What if they're shooting up a school? It's justified for the officer.
You tell me a school shooter that has not lived to go see their date in court. Tell me one. Tell me one.
I'm not my time. Do you think that it would be justified for a police officer to shoot a 16-year-old that is shooting up a school? Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Yes or no? No stalling.
Yes or no?
All right, I'm moving on. Do you believe that Micaiah was posing imminent bodily harm or death?
I believe Micaiah was defending
the girl in
herself.
pink. To the girl. Okay, you're not answering my questions. Never mind.
You asked me.
Okay, I was respectful. I answered your questions to the best of my ability. Anyway, under police code in Columbus, Ohio, sworn personnel may use deadly force when the involved personnel have reason to believe that the response is objectively reasonable to protect themselves or others from the imminent threat of death or physical harm. It is reasonable to assume that the girl that Micaiah was attacking and standing over with a knife was in imminent danger of grave bodily harm or death. It's very reasonable. She was over her with a knife, about to plunge that knife into her chest or neck. Her life was in imminent danger. That is legal. The officer was legally justified under Ohio Columbus law to shoot Micaiah. Legally justified, regardless of age. I think that we can agree, those of you in chat, that it is justified in some circumstances to shoot a 16-year-old. Especially if they're shooting up a school. But why?
So you asked me a yes or no question, and now you're saying in some instances it is okay, but some instances not. But you asked me a yes or no question. That's why I answered the question.
Because I know you keep trying, and you keep saying that it's not a straw man. It is a straw man because you're setting up a dummy next to me, an argument that I never brought up, and attacking that argument. You're attacking the straw man.
I'm making an argument about equal representation under law.
It's my turn. Anyway, equal representation. They're different states. The states have different laws and criteria for self-defense. We're not talking about Kyle Rittenhouse.
I'm talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. That's my argument. You haven't responded to yet.
Then you're straw manning. You're not respecting the premise of the debate that we both agreed to.
I don't think you know how to debate.
I mean, you're literally just bringing up things that are completely irrelevant to whether or not Micaiah was justifiably shot. Let's rewatch this again real quick. See, is this? Ooh, or is it? Okay. This is the girl. She had a chihuahua in her hand. This girl is not posing imminent threat to Micaiah. She's not near Micaiah. She approaches the officer and attempts to speak with the officer. And also, Lee, you are severely misrepresenting Ohio stand your ground law. You are saying that because it was on her property or her family's property, she has the right to attack or kill whoever she wants. That's not true. You have to fit in all three criteria. The person is not the aggressor. The person believes they are in imminent danger of death or grave bodily harm. And the person is in a place where they're legally allowed to be. Those are the three criteria. You have to match all three of them, not just one of them. She doesn't match two of them and debatably three of them. So no, she does not fall under Ohio stand your ground law. According to an NBC affiliate, the stand your ground law says that you have to have first started the situation. You have to have first not started the situation. From this situation, from what the officer can observe, because this is really about his standpoint. He's responding to a 911 call where somebody who's actively attacking another person with a knife. He responds. He's immediately going to think that Micaiah is that person with the knife. You have to have first not started the situation and not escalated the situation. She certainly escalated the situation when she attacked this young lady here who was not doing anything to her in this moment. And then she tried to kill this young lady who was not doing anything to her. So she certainly escalated the situation. And secondly, you have to be in immediate fear of death or serious bodily harm. And yeah. And there was no other option, except for deadly force if you wanted to survive that situation. Do we think that this woman here with a chihuahua and a pink jumpsuit was imposing some kind of grave bodily harm to Micaiah? Lee, do you think that, would you consider a chihuahua to be a deadly weapon? Just yes or no?
Yeah, it can be.
Okay, that's ridiculous. But anyway.
They got teeth, don't they?
Anyway, let's rewatch this.
We got to keep on watching the trauma porn.
Yep. Here's the knife. Ah, shit.
I wonder, how does it emotionally make you feel?
How does it it's very sad to see somebody that young.
He clicked himself off the. He clicked himself off of the after what you call Cam. What happened, Cam? Don't tell me Cam started realizing he was losing and then got after the. Yeah, where you at, Cam?
Yeah, he clicked himself out, bro.
He clicked himself out.
He coming here.
I'm about to say.
All right. Sorry. I was trying to end my screen share and I accidentally hit leave studio. So my bad. Anyway, where were we? Was my time paused? I'll let you rebut. You know what? You can have the rest of my time. Go ahead and rebut. Do your 2 minutes.
Hey, I'm just curious. So initially, when you heard the news of what happened to Makia, how did it make you feel?
How did it make me feel? What do you mean? It sounded
how
sad.
did it make you feel? You said
16-year-old shot and killed. But before I write articles, I cover news content. Before I even dive into these situations, I have to do more exploring into them than just what you're reading or hearing on Twitter or TikTok. I watched the body camera footage.
So I looked into Columbus Law. Though right now you're in a live debate saying that her death is justified, do you still feel sad that she's dead?
It's a tragedy that anybody dies. However, I do believe that this is justified. It is objectively justified under law, and it's moral. I believe that it's morally justified.
I got a question too. So you tell me that Kyle Rittenhouse has nothing to do with this debate, but then you ask me questions about school shooters.
That was a hypothetical. I was providing you a hypothetical. I wasn't trying to.
I wasn't
trying to equivocate this to another shooting or another incident. I was just asking you about.
I can't pose a hypothetical about Kyle Rittenhouse.
Kyle Rittenhouse isn't a hypothetical. That's another case. I was providing you a hypothetical. I wasn't saying when this school was shot up at this time.
I literally made a double bind. Argument.
You're using the child argument as an appeal to emotion. You're trying to get people's emotions flowing so that you can try to make this seem unjustified when in reality there was no other option. If the life of the person being attacked was to be
you don't think you're trying to appeal to emotions at all?
No, I'm trying to objectively prove that this was justified.
So right now, the white man is painting himself as being objective, and the black man is being emotional. Is that what you're saying?
The white man saved a black life. Did you realize that?
Black life.
He saved a black life. Don't you think that if he wanted to see a black life lost, he would have just let Micaiah murder the other girl?
I just got 19 seconds. What he just said, when y'all rewind this footage, what he just said, my third argument, all lives matter, a black life was lost. It literally shows why she should be alive.
I've never preached all lives matter. I don't know why you're bringing this up. Find one clip where I said all lives matter. I've never said it. Find a clip where I've said it other than just now. I've never said it. Go to my page and look at the video where. Oh my God, because you brought it up. I was quoting you, dude. I've never preached that all lives matter.
I don't have to win that you said all lives matter to win this debate. I only have to win the consistencies of saying all lives matter.
You're trying to place that argument on me as if I've said it, but I haven't.
Hey Cam, in a debate, I make arguments, you respond to them. The arguments that you don't like, you just can't say they're straw man. Like literally, hey, this trophy
right here. Straw man.
That's definitionally straw man. I find it funny you talking to me about debate fallacies, bro. Like you talking to a professional policy debate coach about argument fallacies.
Even if I had said those things, you're still just attempting to taint the world. Fallacy. You're trying to discredit me and everything I say.
I just start the timer. We got a 3-minute speech right here. 3-minute speech right here.
For who?
Put my timer, man. So when it comes to the law, in cross-sex, I asked Cam a question. Does the law matter in this debate? Cam simply said, yes. If the law matters in this debate, equal protection under law is always a fact in this debate. And because there's inconsistencies with how he's able to use the law to say, hey, Kyle Rittenhouse, I don't even want to engage in that debate because I don't think this has anything to do with this debate. But I'm going to ask you hypothetical questions about school shooters, even though Makia didn't shoot no school up. There's inconsistencies with this and how I'm going to win this on conservative contradictions. Because you notice that he hasn't said anything about I'm not a conservative. There's a lot of consistencies in terms of the things I'm saying about all lives matter and the shit that he pulls and the shit that he does. You know what I'm saying? All he's literally trying to do is sensationalize Black death for following. But I'm supposed to be the
this is only on your YouTube channel right now.
Stop. Hey, this is my speech right now. It's my 3-minute speech right now. And I'm going to be the one paying that's being emotional, but somehow he keep on having the emotional evoking to want to cut me off. But I'm the emotional one right here. I asked him, how did he feel emotionally when Micaiah was first killed? He said he was sad. But today he's making the thing that even though he was sad when he first heard the news, she should be dead. Nobody sees the inconsistencies in saying that in this instance, I believe this person has the ability to defend themselves. In this instance, I believe this person is always already an imminent threat. So no law enforcement felt threat for their life when Kyle Rittenhouse had a big ass AR-15, literally just got done shooting people that gave him water. And you gonna say, well, he wasn't pointing at nobody. He literally just got done killing some people, and the same law enforcement, it's the same people that have the authority to pull the trigger on my kids, the same people that was like, hey, oh, nah, I think you should get due process of law because you get to defend yourself. Even though you in a state that you're not supposed to be in, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go against that. He going to say, that's straw man. I need you to answer the argument inconsistencies. I had to answer the argument about a hypothetical goddamn school shooter and saying that in some instances. So now you need to answer the question. You still ain't gave me a straight up answer on if I speak T Nathan walk into your house and we doing this. You keep on trying to play this legal rhetoric game in one instance, but another instance say you don't care about it. So you say that it doesn't matter. You say you still keep on emotionally responding and interrupting me, but I'm supposed to be the one that's only responding in emotion. See, this is the thing about my black passion. A lot of people having a low emotional intelligence. When I start getting passionate about what I believe in and what I'm doing, you want to start denigrating my emotional response and my emotional expressions. This sounds like the same thing that Micaiah was put in. You feel me? She don't get to be a body with autonomy that can defend herself. She has to be a passive, docile being. You don't even want to acknowledge she was at her own home. You say that stand your ground law matters, but then you say we have these three things. If you don't fit within these three things, but then you say it doesn't matter.
Yep, that's what the law says. That's what the law says. Yep, that's exactly what the law says. So under law, this was not only was Micaiah not justified under law, but the officer was also justified putting her under. What's up?
Let me know when you start your speech.
Okay, I have 3 minutes, right? Open.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Okay. So again, I mean, I've gone over this according to Columbus Police Code. A sworn personnel may use deadly force when you're making this a legal thing. You want to talk about laws. So do you think that this is not justified under law? Let's be clear. You think this is not justified under law, correct?
Stand your ground, correct.
Okay. Sworn personnel may use deadly force when the involved personnel have reason to believe the response is objectively reasonable to them to protect themselves or others from the imminent threat of death or serious physical harm. That is exactly what was happening. What
are you reading right now? Is it stand your ground law? What law is this?
This is Columbus, Ohio Police Code. If you were actually listening to what I was saying, they are allowed to use deadly force, including a firearm, when they're protecting themselves or others from the imminent threat of death or serious physical harm. So he was absolutely justified in that, in what he did under the Columbus Police Code of Conduct. And again, understand your ground. You have to fit all three of these criteria. The person cannot be the aggressor. The person has to be in imminent danger of death or great bodily harm, which she was not by the person she attacked. She was not in great bodily harm. She was the aggressor the entire time that the officer was there. And the officer had he could reasonably infer that Micaiah was the armed assailant with a knife that called in on the 911 call when he got there. He doesn't even know that it's her house at that point. He doesn't know that it's her house. He may think that he's at someone else's house and Micaiah is the armed assailant because he received a domestic call where somebody was an armed assailant with a knife. We don't know that Micaiah made that call, again, because the Columbus, Ohio police chief came out and said that the person who made the call is yet to be identified. You keep talking about equal protection under law, but people don't have the protection varies from state to state. Not every state has stand your ground, so they're not protected like in manners of self-defense in the same way. And that's not, I see what you're doing there. It's not a racial thing. It applies to everyone. Not every state has great self-defense laws. Some states do have great self-defense laws. Some states are stand your ground states. This state is a stand your ground state, but you have to fit certain criteria in order for it to hold up in court and for it to be legally justified. But it's not. Again, according to an NBC affiliate, you have to have been the one who started the situation. You have to have not escalated the situation. By the way, NBC is a left-wing source. And secondly, you have to be in the immediate fear of death or serious bodily harm and have no other option but to use deadly force in order to survive the situation. You have to have not escalated the situation. She clearly escalated the situation. She was chasing down 2 people with a knife that were not actively attacking her. One of them had a dog in their hand. A chihuahua is not a deadly weapon. I don't care if you try to claim that it is a deadly weapon. Come to my house and try to kill me with a chihuahua.
Timer, man. I'm starting my time right now. It's funny that this man's trying to keep on talking about this chihuahua, but Kyle Rittenhouse is able to see people as an imminent threat, but goddamn posters. With posters. That's what he got to go away with being able to say defend himself. I find it it's just crazy that we're now sitting here talking about the law. Let's go to the Ohio stand your ground law. There's 4 tenets of this, or 3 tenets of this right here. The person is not the aggressor. If literally she called the police, because he's still
we don't know that.
No.
The person who called the police is unidentified.
Listen, stop cutting me off right now. This is my speech, right? What we know is that even when he say we don't know, this does not mean that she did not do it. It does not rule out that she didn't call. He's just saying we don't know either. She called. Does not mean that she didn't call. So I'm keeping on going with my speech. The second part of the Ohio stand your ground law. The person believes they are an imminent threat or danger of bodily harm. I think calling the police saying that you're in threat suffices as that. The last thing that's so important that Cam know he keep realizing he lost on this. That's why I keep on going back and forth. The last thing on the Ohio stand your ground is the person is in the place where they have the legal right to be. The stand your ground law acknowledges that she had the legal right to be in her place of residence, and the driveway counts as that. He first sees when y'all go around this village, he gonna try to say no consciously. She was on the sidewalk. That's not public. He recognizing that the law matters. So again, you got to ask the question: what law did Makai have to stand on? And shout out to the people with the speech impediments and the stuttering things, because apparently they think when we stutter, we can't keep on winning. But this is how it go down. In order for him to win this debate, he has to win that a kitchen knife and potential death is more danger than a assault rifle and 2 people already being dead. He has to win that the stand your ground law does not matter because she was defending herself and the police did this. Because this is what he hasn't got into. The police didn't have enough time. So he didn't apply no de-escalation tactics. He didn't try to fire off no rubber bullets. He didn't try to fire off no taser. He didn't even try to use the gun that he pulled out to shoot her in the left leg or the right leg or the right arm or the left arm. He shot her 4 times in the chest. 4 times in the chest. And now this man right here that's trying to traffic some conservative clout off of sensationalizing Black death just had to be able to try to challenge me on this here thing. Hey, consciously, I see that you think that this death wasn't justifiable. I want to challenge you that, but you got to come to my Twitch. Now you getting your ass wiped the flow on because you a grown ass man trying to justify a child should be dead because of your interpretation of what you think she was doing. So we don't have the right to be able to say who called, but you can say, I know for a fact that my kid was going to kill that woman. And that justifies it. Due process of law. If the law matters in this debate, you have to say that the police officer should be the judge, jury, and executor. And we know that the law matters, and that's unconstitutional.
Okay, so what do I have, 2 minutes now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 3 minutes. I did 3 minutes, so you got 3 minutes or 2.
All right.
Yeah. I got time.
And this is the last rebut, right? And then closing statements, or
yeah.
Okay.
Last rebut and closing statements.
Okay, so good. You're going to start when I start talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I start when you start.
So it seems to me that you are basing your entire argument around the phone call, claiming that because she was being attacked in her own home, blah, blah, she made the phone call because she felt that she was in imminent danger. It's irrelevant because you're basing your entire argument around something that we don't objectively know. We do not objectively know that Micaiah made that call, and you're claiming that I don't know that she didn't make the call, and you're correct, but you don't know that she did. So that's not a strong argument. You're standing on a crutch. Anyway, again, shoot in the leg or the arm. Police are specifically trained not to shoot in the arm or the leg. I have a government source for this, the Office of Justice Programs. Officers should not intentionally shoot to wound with the hopes of shooting to wound, because arms and legs are the fastest moving parts on your body. You are more likely to miss, and then if that margin of error happens, the other girl is going to be dead. And not only that, if you shoot for the upper arms and upper legs where they're less mobile, you're more likely to hit an artery because they use hollow point rounds. Yeah, and also if you're shooting for like arms and stuff, right? You're more likely to hit the neck and head. That happened again. I got a study right here. I can send it to you if you'd like. Again, done by the Office of Justice Programs. They took a sample of police shootings and displayed that in several of these occasions where the police were intending to shoot to wound because they didn't want to kill a person, they ended up actually striking the person in the neck or head. They're trained to shoot center mass because that's the most reliable place to shoot to neutralize the threat. You're trying to like refute the fact that the girl in pink, that her life was in imminent danger. It absolutely was. That is far less speculation than saying that we don't know if it was Micaiah on the phone. Your whole argument is around speculation. You're speculating that a girl who had another girl pinned to the hood of a car or to the side of the car, whatever it was, with a knife over her head, ready to plunge it into this girl after attacking another girl and her dad curb stomping that girl, that maybe she wasn't going to kill her. Maybe she was just going to stop right there in her tracks. That's not a risk the officer can take. They are legally allowed to shoot and use deadly force when they are preserving the life of themselves or another person. That is Columbus, Ohio's police code of conduct. Again, you keep bringing up Kyle Rittenhouse. It's relevant. We agreed to a debate where we're talking about this specific instance. And the fact that you need to try to straw man me with Kyle Rittenhouse really shows how weak your argument actually is. I yield, I guess you could say, if we were in Congress. And by the way, I answered your thing about T. Nathan, you and T. Nathan, whoever else you said. I said that it depends on the circumstance, right? It completely depends on the circumstance. Was I the aggressor or were you the aggressor? Was I the aggressor? Completely depends. In this situation, Micaiah was objectively, from the officer's point of view, the aggressor. She was chasing down another person, pushed them to the ground, and then tried to stab someone.
All right, my turn.
Yep, go ahead.
Closing or it's 4 minutes. It's 4 minutes.
Closing, yeah. How long do we want to do for that? 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You could 4 minutes. Totally up to you. Whatever. As long as how much?
4 minutes.
4 minutes. All right, go ahead.
I start my timer now. A straw man fallacy is defined as a form of argument or informal fallacy of having an impression of refuting a argument, whereas a proper idea of the argument under discussion was not addressed or properly refuted. There is no way for me to not address or properly refute his argument. He's not made no argument. Cam came out of the box talking about straw man argumentation because he thought that would be a cute, pseudo-intellectual way of not having to respond to my arguments. I've made 3 arguments in debate. My argument was the Kyle Rittenhouse argument is saying that he has to win, that a kitchen knife and potential death is more of a threat than an AR rifle and 2 people already being dead. My second argument was about the Ohio stand your ground law. He keeps on reading to me the Columbus, Ohio policy, the police policy. Somehow, when I asked him the question, does law matter? He believes that the Columbus, Ohio police policy overrides the state of Ohio stand your ground law. That law literally says that if you are in the legal right, the location that you have the right to defend yourself. I asked the question in my open arguments: what ground does black people have to stand on? This debate right here. I know he wants to place it in the vacuum and say this is only about this instance, but this is the reason why we keep on being in this space, because y'all fail to recognize how patterns and trends happen. Because for some reason, where we find that similar states across our country, regardless on the East Coast or the West Coast, we all have similar grounds one way or another of being able to have a law that says stand your ground. But somehow, whether you in Ohio or Florida, black women, black children, black girls somehow don't be able to defend themselves. And now today, Cam wants to sit here and pontificate literally about the black and white of the law when it comes to Micaiah, but he didn't have that same energy when it came to Kyle Rittenhouse. Let me ask this. If Micaiah Bryant should be dead, how many of those protesters January 6th that went into the Capitol should be dead? They had guns in their hands. They was literally threatening people and literally trying to...
They shouldn't have guns in their hands.
Stop cutting me off, Cam. Stop cutting me off, Cam. Literally, how many more should be dead? That's the rhetorical question here, because I guess you don't know how closing arguments go. The rhetorical question is the inconsistency. I said I'm going to win this debate on conservative contradictions. Cam, throughout this debate, not only has he shown in the big picture there's inconsistencies, he's literally showed the contradictions in this debate. 1 minute he says that it doesn't matter whether she was on. It doesn't matter what the law is. And 1 minute he says that she wasn't even on private property. She was on the sidewalk. On the other instance, she said yes consciously, and she had her pinned in a pink dress with a chihuahua. See, it's crazy that he's trying to say I'm trying to use emotions, but he keeps on sensationalizing whether a chihuahua is threatful or not. Talk about how you feel emotionally provoked with that. See, Cam, I really had it out for you already because you thought you was doing something when you tried to jump me with that Brandon bait. Now we 1-on-1 and you see it ain't holding too good. You know what I'm saying? So in closing, we see there's an inconsistency of all lives matter. He gonna say he didn't say it. It doesn't matter if he didn't say it already. My argument is that all lives do matter, and that we pay tax dollars for law enforcement to be able to deploy some type of de-escalation. If you go to Google right now and you type in police de-escalation, you tell me what race you gonna see of police officers literally being able to deploy rubber bullets. He's saying he claimed tasers are not effective, but somehow tasers been able to make it where abusers, violenters, perpetuators of the law are able to go see their time in court. They ain't gotta die. They ain't gotta be able to speculate about what their intentions was, because he gonna try to say, we know McLean was gonna kill his woman, but she not here to tell us, and that's the issue. The issue is that a child is dead, and now we have people for their political gain trying to sensationalize their death to try to get some views. That is tasteless. That is unethical. That's immoral. You know what I'm saying? All lives matter. Everybody should have went home, and they didn't. That's the reason why he loses.
Okay. There was no circumstance where everybody goes home. If that officer didn't shoot, the girl that Micaiah was attacking would be dead. Anyway, you said that I'm saying that the law is relevant in some situations and not in others. I said that whether she was on her own property is irrelevant due to the fact that you have to meet all three criterias under the stand your ground law. You can't be the aggressor. You couldn't have escalated the situation further. You have to be on your own property, and your life has to be in imminent danger of grave bodily harm or death. Micaiah does not fit two of those criterias. Therefore, the third criteria is irrelevant because you have to meet all three. She was on her property, but she was clearly the aggressor. She was the one chasing people with knives and swinging the knife around rampantly. Okay, her life was not in imminent danger from the person holding the chihuahua. The person holding the chihuahua was attempting to speak with the police to tell them what was going on. Okay, that person posed no threat whatsoever to Micaiah Bryant, but Micaiah Bryant attacked her anyway with a knife and attempted to kill her. That is an objective fact. That girl's life was in imminent danger, objectively. There is no argument about that. Her life was in danger. Would you say that your life is in danger if somebody is holding a knife over their hand or over their head while you're pinned up against a car? Would you say that your life is probably in imminent danger? Yes or no?
It depends. It depends on the context.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
I think if a 14-year-old girl has a knife with me, I'm not gonna kill her.
Anyway, the Kyle Rittenhouse situation. I guess you could call it more of a red herring than a straw man. You're bringing up something irrelevant to distract from the actual argument, and that's exactly what you did. You brought up Kyle Rittenhouse, which is in no way relevant to this situation whatsoever. If we are arguing if this is objectively justified on its own or not, Kyle Rittenhouse has nothing to do with it. You're attempting to taint the well and discredit my arguments for things that I may have or may have not said in the past. That's what tainting the well is. You're attempting to say because I may have said this in the past, that means all of my future arguments are incorrect, which is not true. Go find one video of me talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. You can't. There's nothing on TikTok about it. And they're also very different situations. They're not the same cops. They're not trained the same way. The laws in those states are not the same. That's about all I've got, man. Rubber bullets. You don't know if he had rubber bullets or not. You don't know if he had a rubber bullet mag on him. We don't know what was on that officer's duty belt. Who are you talking to, man? What are you doing? Tasers are
you ain't saying nothing, fam.
Tasers are ineffective 40% of the time, according to the American Public Research. Yep, American Public Media study conducted by the American Public Media Los Angeles reported that from 2014 2018 they were effective anywhere from 53 to 64% of the time in any given year. Pepper spray wouldn't have been effective, too far away. The officer's not going to dive in and tackle Micaiah because that's exactly what a knife assailant wants you to do. As soon as he dives in and gets close with a person who has a knife, he's at the disadvantage. Not only is his life in danger, but the other girl's life is also still in danger because he doesn't know that by the time he gets in that situation, that girl hasn't been stabbed. That's why he was back with a knife to preserve or with a gun to preserve his own life and the life of the person or persons being attacked. Because it wasn't just one. We know that Micaiah was swinging the knife at the other girl and then pushed her to the ground, and her dad curb stomped that girl. There was plenty of lives in imminent danger, and if he would have done anything other than what he did, there would have been more lives in danger. The risk is far too high, and the margin of error, there's no margin of error there. You have to do what you have to do to preserve life. He was objectively legally justified in what he did under Columbus, Ohio's police code of conduct, and Micaiah Bryant was not justified in what she did under Ohio's self-defense laws, their stand your ground laws. She didn't meet 2 of the legal criteria that you have to meet all 3. She didn't meet 2 of them. I wasn't saying that you throw out the law in this situation and not in this situation. I was simply telling you that it's irrelevant because she already doesn't meet the criteria in two instances.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. It's been a cool little debate.
Yep.
Definitely everyone who think Cam won, think Kyle was justified in the invasion.
I never said this whole debate. I never said.
I'm not talking about you. David, shout out to you for this comment. Says everyone thinking Cam won. That's not you. Also thinks that Kyle is justified and that the invasion of the Capitol was the right idea. Let's find that funny, man. You got any other last thing you want to put? Let's say you said anything. We're talking about the comment section. This is not time for you to feel centering yourself, and we ain't got time to do that right there. Any last parting words though? Because I really don't have.
You didn't bring up an objective fact in this entire debate. Like not even a single one. I don't think you brought up literally anything. You didn't reference any law. You didn't reference any statistics, any studies. You didn't bring up any objective evidence at all. You just tried to go back on this crutch of Kyle Rittenhouse. I didn't read Ohio State Stand Your Ground law to you. And that wasn't my second I read it to you, actually. That was like one of the first things I did was read it to you.
That's cool. Everything's recorded though, man.
All right, man. Cool.
I guess now we're gonna shoot the shit until you're ready to go. Because I just find it funny.
I'm out of here, man. I gotta go stream.
About how we don't know this, we don't know, but you giving objective facts, but you don't know who made the call, but she's supposed to be dead.
What do those two things have to do with each other? You don't know that she made the call.
How can you give objective facts and you're acknowledging that you don't know what happened?
The objective fact was that that the person who made the call is not identified yet. That was the objective fact, according to the Columbus, Ohio.
The objective fact is that
the objective fact is that the person is unidentified. And the reason I brought that up was because your argument was that she made the call and her life was in danger when you don't know that to be a fact. Your argument kept falling back on things that are not proven to be fact. You didn't.
I don't think you recognize in debate when you say that something is not known, it flipped both ways. So if I don't know it, you acknowledge and you don't know it.
I never said that it wasn't Micaiah. I never said that it wasn't Micaiah. I just said that the person who made the call.
That's my argument. Identified yet. You don't know if it was not Micaiah. That's my argument.
I never claimed that I knew. You said she made the call, and I made you aware the police chief said yesterday.
This is my last question, then I'll let you do it. This is my last question. I'll let you do it. So if Micaiah's mom and sisters said that she called the police because she was being attacked, why shouldn't we believe them?
Wait, what? Show me a video where mom.
If Micaiah's mom and sisters say she was being attacked, why shouldn't we believe them?
Repeat that. I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
If Micaiah's mom and sisters said she was being attacked, why shouldn't we believe them?
Because on the video, she wasn't being attacked. She was the one doing the attacking. We can see that on the video. There is video evidence of it. She attacked 2 people violently and attempted murder on one of them. And then her dad curb stomped the other girl that she threw to the ground.
And
it's just the fact that she was the aggressor.
And just in closing, you saying that in the Ohio Stand Your Ground law, that if a person is in their legal residence, if they seen as an imminent threat, them being a legal residence don't matter no more?
If their life is in danger, they're not the aggressor, then they have the right to defend themselves. But she was the aggressor. They also can't escalate the situation in order for it to hold up in court. She was clearly escalating the situation. She was clearly the aggressor, objectively the aggressor. We saw it on video. We saw her attack 2 people. We saw her dad curb stomp one of the people she attacked. I would assume. I would assume that was her father.
We good, anyway, man. Appreciate you. Holla at you, man.
It was a good conversation, man. I wish that we could have, come to an agreement, but I'll see you later, bro.
Man, well, was not gonna come to no agreement, bro. You ain't got to come in.
Hey, man, I've brought on Victoria Hammett, typical Democrat. We've had unformatted discussions, and we've come to plenty of common ground. But I just feel as though somehow what's typical Democrat, 16, 17, somehow a 16 or 17-year-old is more mature than you and able to have a calm, cool discussion, collected, and attempt, at least make an attempt to come to common ground. And not going to it, I'm going to win this 100% like you did. So I'm out of here, man. Have fun.
You on mute, man.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get rid of dude. What's good with y'all, man?
What's good, man? What's good, man?
Yo,
what's good? Bro, you seen bro talking about if you don't get your fake civility having that on somewhere, like, you know damn well there was no way we was gonna be coming to an agreement that a child should be killed. Come on,
Lee. This is the thing, bro. I was being nice. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, y'all was having the conversation, y'all was having the debate, but I do want to point out that the way that he responded there at the end shows you that he know he got his ass kicked. The way that the whole him trying to like cut and explain and re-explain and go back through and go over and well, you didn't bring out anything objectively. I don't think you brought nigga that I don't give a fuck. You got your ass whooped. How you sitting up here saying that you can objectively say that this woman was the aggressor, but you can't objectively say whether or not she called the police? What kind of asinine? I mean, come on.
Hey, and then the crazy part about it is him and because he definitely was capping. It's like, I see what you're doing here. I ain't gonna waste my speech time with this. He definitely didn't got him some TikTok creator fund money making views about Kyle Rittenhouse. Definitely made content on it. Definitely made content talking about all lives matter. But that don't even matter though. Even if he didn't make that content, my argument was all lives matter, and he did not negate that. He didn't win that all lives don't matter.
Now, and I want to point this out. You feel me? When we talk about a debate about whether or not a teenager should have been killed by the police, you feel me? That ain't even really no win or loss type shit. You just pointing out how people are really fucked up.
How a grown ass man's trying to sensationalize Black death to build a conservative clout chasing following on Twitch. It's textbook. Literally been literally fishing. Like, consciously, I already whooped my ass one time. I don't care if he whoops my ass again, as long as my conservatives come over, because they're gonna say I won anyway. It's like, that's what you was doing. You weren't trying to have a debate. He really wanted to have me on his Twitch. That's what this all was about.
And I'm gonna be for real, just to give y'all a little backdrop. When Lee came to me with the conversation, I'm like, I don't think you should do it, bro. Because like this nigga really trying to build clout. Like, he conservative clout chasing off the death of a young. That's why even the multiple times that he was showing the video, like, I was in the back and I apologized to y'all. I
literally like that's what you keep on doing.
I wanted to like take him, keep playing that video off the screen, because he don't know, you know what I'm saying, like his privilege was just being displayed by the amount of times he chose to show that, you know what I'm saying, show that image.
Hey, what's funny is he didn't see the irony of me asking him. So how did you feel when you first heard it? I was sad. But let me keep on replaying the death that made me sad, because it made me so sad. It's like, bro, what you saying don't even make sense. It made you sad. You're now in a whole ass debate trying to justify her death, but you said her death made you, and you trying to fall back on humanity. Like, well, any life being lost is bad. It's like,
yeah, it's ugly.
I said, I'm in a of contradictions,
and that's all it was. Okay. But you know what? And this is the thing. The reason why it was important that he had this conversation though was because, like, for the people that's watching, understand, like, study this video, understand the language, look at the responses. You know what I'm saying? Because if you somebody that's choosing to engage with these people, you know what I mean, like, when you see Lee engage with these folk, this is how it should be done. It don't got to be overly complicated.
My man said I didn't present no facts. I literally read him the tenets of the Ohio State, and he read back to me the Columbus, Ohio police report. Like, bro, I don't even know how to work the law work, but the state of Ohio is over the Columbus, Ohio police policy. Just like, bro, like, literally, to me, the same people that would justify Black people being murdered because we don't understand the law will then use their ignorance of the law to justify our deaths legally. A conservative contradiction.
And what make it so bad is the fact that y'all deploying, the fact that you can Google logical fallacy and you could throw straw man out there. Like, that's one of the things that people say on social media.
Because people want to know, this is a first place USC trophy of me being a coach. Cam couldn't even hang with Cam couldn't hang with my freshman debaters that's new to debate.
Look, here's the thing. When you're the person making the argument, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's his responsibility to respond to it. right? There's a level of okay,
fallacy, like
right, like you can't just say logical fallacy. You have to show the flaw in the logic. If you draw a comparison between Kyle Rittenhouse being justified in murdering two people that had bags and posters in their hands, right, and then saying that this young girl was justified in being murdered with a knife on her own property, right? When witnesses say that she's the one that called the police, when you don't see that parallel, that's not a straw man, right? That's just a lack in your understanding. That's a lack in your ability to respond to that argument.
And just to add to that, I see people still confused in the comment section. The Kyle Rittenhouse is not terrible or a low blow. If we say the law matters, we have to literally be able to test the consistency of the logic. So if Kyle Rittenhouse has the ability to defend themselves, but Makia doesn't, that's an inconsistency in logic. Exactly. If we acknowledge that equal protection under law is a national law and all naturalized American citizens has the equal protection under law, how can you say that the same law that justifies Kyle being able to go see his day in court also justifies her being dead and not being able to see her day in court? That's an inconsistency.
Because at a bare minimum, right? At a bare minimum, and we was talking about this up on the Chop Up. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to the Chop Up show on YouTube. But we were just talking about this, how it's a question of, at a bare minimum, she was denied due process.
And y'all see bare minimum due process. He felt like it depends. And then he automatically went to the police officer getting due process or not. So you literally see when I asked what question do black people have to stand on, obviously none. Because he was more worried about the law enforcement dude getting, due process, and not worried about the person that was dead. And it's just like that is literally. And I'm sorry, I know I've been saying her name wrong. Is it Makia or is it Makaya?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've been trying to I've been trying to make sure I say it and spell it the right way. It's how it is. But we just gotta make sure we show respect for that. But yeah, man, great debate. Again, cooked another one. If y'all trying to figure out the playbook, this is how you do it. You know what I mean? This is how you respond to that.
And shout out to my little cousin Rakia. They literally the same age, and that's the reason they literally the same age. And I know that teenage girls go through a lot of bullying. You feel me? That's like, especially in high school, there's a lot of conflict, there's a lot of drama, a lot of things that us as adults we know it's literally just high school drama, and when you become an adult, it don't matter no more. So literally,
World Star is full of videos just like this.
Literally,
like, full of videos. World Star is like full of videos of people showing up at people's houses fighting. You know what I mean? That's why, like, the idea that she was the aggressor. You know what I'm saying? Because she looked like she was being aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, we know what these situations look like. It's happened in my family. You feel me?
And too, I found it funny. He giving objective facts, but he assumes that there's no possible way that Makia could have been defending herself. There's no possible way.
Yeah,
she can only be seen as the aggressor. Objectively, she can only be just like that's like
Hey, that's that fear of that blackness. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that hyper violent. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But yo, we can go ahead and close it out, bro. You said the last words.
Yeah, man.
That'll be it.
Hey, shout out to everybody that tuned in to the debate. You feel me? Whether you thought who won or who lost, just recognize that education is elevation. And I think that argumentation is always a great way to be able to learn. That's literally how I learned a lot about myself and a lot about the world, by being able to do research and being able to make debate arguments and being able to have dialogue with people that have different ideas and different perspectives. At the end of the day, we know that one of the reasons why debate is great is because of how different perspectives manifest themselves and how different interpretations are able to show. If you're not able to justify your interpretation or justify your perspective, you might want to rethink that perspective or that, interpretation. Lastly, when you on my page and you see me debating, I'm never trying to change the mind of the person that I'm debating. 9 times out of 10, I know that the person I'm debating is not going to change their mind. You feel me? Just like Cam trying to acknowledge, you didn't try to come meet me halfway. Like, fam, you didn't try to meet me halfway. You know what I'm saying? Like, that burden is on you. I spoke first. I was the AF. You was the negative. You don't know how AF neg work. You know what I mean?
But second is that it's not trying to change the mind. It's trying to give you the language and show you how to illustrating how to use different debate skills and different debate logic to be able to take our arguments apart. You know what I'm saying? Or to be able to make arguments, or to be able to respond to arguments. You feel me? Let me know, tag me. I'm curious though, to let me know who you think won and what's the reasons of why you thought they won. Whether you thought I won or Cam won, going on and make you a little video on TikTok, on Instagram, or Twitter, or you can even make the tweet or make the, you know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely curious on who y'all thought won and why y'all thought they won. What is your it's RFD? What is your reason for decision? You feel me? So you can't just say you voted for Cam because you like Cam and you're a Cam follower. You can't say you voted for Conscious Lee because you like Conscious Lee and you're a Conscious Lee follower. Give me a substantive reason of why you believe I won or he won, or I lost or he lost. I'm looking forward to seeing these responses. I'll holler at y'all, GeorgeLeeSpeaks.com, where you get it at. And for all y'all that's always asking about my podcast, the podcast is the Chop Up Show. It's available on Spotify and Apple iTunes. I'll holler at y'all.